an infinite universe is impossible. In this video, we show that it is impossible for a physical universe to be A. temporally infinite, or B. spatially infinite, or C. both. Temporal infinity. 1. It is impossible to cross a past temporal infinity, i.e., an infinity of past time, to get to the present moment. 2. Therefore, the physical universe, or multiverse, cannot be temporally past infinite. 3. Therefore, the physical universe cannot be temporally infinite. Spatial infinity. 1. Since the universe cannot be past temporally infinite, it came into being a finite period of time ago. 2. So, there must have been a cause that initiated the creation of the universe. 3. A physical universe is a material universe. Materialism is the view that only matter, energy, spacetime exist. Matter requires local realism. Matter is necessarily local, and it is necessarily real in an observer-independent manner. Material causation is local, e.g., a cue ball hits a pool ball on a pool table. 4. That means that the event, or act, of creation, or causation, of the physical universe had to be local. 5. That means that the creation of the universe started at a specific location and then extended outward from that location. We see this in the Big Bang, which starts as a near singularity, which then expands outward from that location. 6. This means that the universe started as a point, the point of local causation, like the Big Bang, and then expands outward from that point of causation. 7. All material events take time, so the outward expansion of creation, of the physical universe, has to be at a finite speed. 8. So, this outward expansion of creation, or causation, has been continuing at a finite speed, for a finite period of time, since the universe cannot be temporally past infinite. 9. Therefore, the physical universe is necessarily finite in size. 10. Therefore, the physical universe cannot be infinite in size. Conclusion. 1. The physical universe cannot be temporally infinite. 2. And, it cannot be spatially infinite. 3. Therefore, the physical universe cannot be infinite. 4. Therefore, an infinite universe is impossible. Details. We can know with absolute certainty that if the multiverse exists, it had a beginning. How? Note, there is no compelling reason to believe that a multiverse exists. However, for the rest of this video, we will assume the multiverse exists and prove that if it exists, it had a beginning, and it did not always exist. 1. Infinity. It is impossible to cross an infinity. If the multiverse is infinitely old, it would have had to cross an infinity of past time to get to the present moment. That is logically impossible. Therefore, the multiverse is not infinitely old. It has a finite age. And so, it had a beginning. 2. Expanding. Here, we consider a multiverse that is expanding. This means that in the past, the multiverse was smaller. The further back we look in the past, the smaller the multiverse. Extrapolate backwards in time, until you get to zero volume, and you have reached the beginning of the multiverse. So, an expanding multiverse cannot be infinitely old. Therefore, it has a finite age. And so, it had a beginning. 3. Contracting. Here, we consider a multiverse that is contracting. Such a multiverse cannot be infinitely old. That is because if the multiverse were infinitely old, it would have had all the time it needed to contract down to zero volume, and cease to exist. Therefore, a contracting multiverse cannot be infinitely old. It would have a finite age. And so, it had a beginning. 4. Dynamic. A dynamic multiverse is either expanding or contracting in total. In either case, it cannot be infinitely old, as shown in points 2 and 3. 5. Infinitely tuned. For a dynamic multiverse to be neither expanding nor contracting overall, the dynamic size changes of the multiverse have to be perfectly tuned to prevent overall expansion or contraction. If the multiverse is infinitely old, that requires infinite and purposeful fine-tuning, which would be proof of God doing the fine-tuning. But in any case, from point 1, such a multiverse cannot be infinitely old. 6. Cyclic. A cyclic multiverse would go through a series of expansions and contractions. However, it is logically impossible for such a multiverse to cross an infinite series of such cycles. Therefore, such a multiverse cannot be infinitely old. It would have a finite age. And so, it would have a beginning. 7. Multiverse. The logic above applies to all forms of multiverses. Therefore, a multiverse cannot be infinitely old. And so, it would have a beginning. 8. This reasoning covers all possible forms of universes or multiverses. Conclusion. The physical multiverse cannot be infinitely old. It necessarily had a beginning. This points to God as the cause and creator of the multiverse, if the multiverse exists. If you would like more detail, see our Proof for God video.